welcome to my podcast. I'm your host, Mike Del Ferro, and in this series, The Echoes of Toots, I talk to outstanding harmonica players from all over the world about Toots Thielemans. I had the great honor to play with Toots for 10 years. He passed away in 2016, and in the last years I've been doing a Toots tribute all over the world with many harmonica players. In these episodes, I talk to several harmonica players about their musical journey, how Toots influenced their music, and how they found their own voice on the harmonica with such an influential musician like Toots. In this episode, I'm talking to the great Brazilian harmonica player, Gabriel Grossi. The list of people you've been performing with is so impressive. You've performed with almost every great Brazilian musician like Hermeto Pascoal, Ivan Lins, Djavan, Chico Buarque, Milton Nascimento, but also with international people like Jacob Collier, Snarly Puppy, Wynton Marsalis. That's impressive, man. But you deserve it because you're such a wonderful musician. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about your musical journey. How did you start playing the harmonica? Where did you grow up in Brazil? Things like that.
Great, man. It's going to be a pleasure to share a little of these stories. So, yeah, I'm from Brasilia, from the capital of Brazil. I was born there. And I had in the beginning, I began with the blues harp, the diatonic harmonica, when I was 14, something like that. And then I was really intuitive. I didn't know anything about theory and not even the names of the notes I was playing. It was just feeling total. So a friend of mine, when I was 14, 15, and I was trying to play some melodies, some Brazilian melodies, and then I did not find the notes on the diatonic harmonica. So, and I didn't know, and my friend said, "Man, I cannot find the notes here." and then a friend of mine said, "No, man, there's a harmonica with the key, like a chromatic one. So if you should play the chromatic. It's gonna be better for you." I said, "Oh, cool, man." So I didn't even know it existed. So, and I was yeah, 15, 14, 15, something like that. And then it was really special because in the beginning I was like, okay, so I found the notes I was looking for to play the melodies that I wanted to play. And it was like, okay, man, this is the instrument. I mean, it's there. It's really it's nice to say this always. I mean, it's two completely different instruments, like the diatonic and the chromatic. So it's really like playing another instrument. It's not like piano, keyboard, or guitar and acoustic, and it's I mean, it's like a flute and clarinet, let's say. It's different techniques and with different approach, different different, a lot of differences. So when I began the chromatic harmonica at the age of 15, something like that, I was 16 maybe. Yeah, 16 maybe. I was like, okay, so this is the instrument I want to. When I began to play, this is my instrument. I mean, it was really different from the diatonic. Like the diatonic was like having fun, but the chromatic, I said, man, I can express myself through this, So I think this is like the first of, let's say, the first goal of a musician, to find the instrument. We're like instrumentalists, so we're the middle. We're like we have to find an instrument to express music. So
Right.
this first job it's really special, and I really love the sound of harmonica. Always, like, I always was like always outstanding for me when I listen to a song and something like that. And I played a little piano when I was like 7, 8, and then I was like, I had these terrible teachers, like a lot of people had. So I took like 3, 4 classes. I was like traumatized with music because
Was
it
it
was this.
classical music?
Yeah, it was like I
Yeah.
took like 3 classes, and then and the first class she came with the lead sheets, and I said, and you had to do this, ta 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 ta. I said, "Whoa, man, no, please, please." I said to my parents, like, "Please let me play soccer with my friends. I don't want to play. I don't want to play music. This is really boring." So I mean, it's nice to talk about this parenthesis because it happens to a lot of people, and it can really mess things up when you're beginning to play. So
It's
um,
tragic. It's
well,
tragic. So
it
many
it's
people you talk to,
yeah.
who are like traumatized
Yeah,
by classical teachers who don't understand that in the beginning it should be all about fun and motivate the
of
child
course.
to create
Yeah,
something, regardless of the level. But that's such a worldwide mistake with music teachers. It's tragic. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's really tragic. So I had like I was really traumatized with music for a while. Like, oh man, I don't want to play. So and then
Yeah.
when I was like 12, maybe 12, 13, I was like I loved heavy metal at that time, death metal, heavy stuff. So I played a little bass, and then was the beginning to come back with music again. So play like heavy metal things, and then the blues harp, and then at the age of 15, 16, the chromatic harmonica, which is I mean, which I knew from the first time I played. I said, man, this is my instrument. I mean, through this I can express myself. I don't. I have to study a lot, but I think I can express myself through this instrument. I felt this confidence about it. So and when that happened, right away I listened to I have like two idols in my life, uh, which is like my, let's say, my structure of studying harmonica and developing everything, which is Toots Thielemans, of course, Jean Toots Thielemans, and Mauricio Einhorn from
Yeah.
Brazil, which was my professor as well. So I listened to these two guys uh, in the beginning, and I said, "Wow, man, I want to play like these guys." It was really like, "Oh, that's my path. Let's say, I have to track through this, this way." So, well, this was just feelings, and I still like very intuitive without knowing theory and stuff. So
You were
Mauricio,
self-taught. You're
self-taught,
self-taught.
yeah,
All right. Okay. Yeah.
self-taught until I had until I was like 18. So 18, at the age of 18, I was 17. I was beginning to play some, to work with music, let's say, to do some gigs, some to get some money. So so that's, let's say, it counts. Let's say the start, the beginning, and I was living in Brasilia, so uh, it's nice to say this about in Holland, for example, things are close. So if you go to a city to another city, it's nearby. Oh, let's go from Amsterdam to Rotterdam, from So in
Yeah.
Brazil, it's things are so far away. So I lived in Brasilia, and at that time, uh, I plane tickets were really expensive, and I begun to study with Mauricio Einhorn. He's living here in Rio, and I was living in Brasilia. So this was like 18, 19 hours of bus traveling. So I
Wow.
came, yeah, I was like, oh, it was really special because I was always calling a harmonica player in Brasilia, said, man, I want to take classes. I want to take classes. And he never had time. And I said, I'm going to Rio. And you're going to Rio. So, man, please take class with the best. Mauricio, it's going to be a professor, and he's going to be happy to know you. I said, okay, give me his phone. And I remember I was calling in this uh, old public telephones, in the streets. I
With
remember
the
this.
coins.
With
Yeah.
the coins, yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
calling, like, putting some coins. Mauricio, how you doing? Harmonica play. I'm beginning to play, and Oh, do you, do you teach it? Yeah. Say, yeah, okay. So let's go. I remember first time was like, he said, come over, come to my house, gave me the address, and the class was scheduled to from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So I remember getting there a little before 2, and I left his house midnight. First day. it,
Ah,
it
beautiful.
was it was crazy, man, because it was like we were both happy. I mean, I was having the honor, the pleasure to be with a great master, and he was really happy to know that a young guy really wanted to play, really wanted to take it seriously. So we had this connection from first time, and spent like, man, hours and hours and talking about life. And at the end, Mauricio, I found out that Mauricio, until now, he doesn't know anything about theory. So he's self-taught and totally intuitive. He doesn't even reads the chords. It's just by ear. uh, so it was really interesting, but at the same time, it was a little hard to understand some things. It was beautiful. I mean, about philosophy. We spoke a lot about colors, about feelings, about sensations, which for me, it's the, I mean, when we study music afterwards, this for sure. It's the things that you know maintains, it stays in our mind forever, I think, thinking about musical philosophies and this kinds of tips and ways and paths, and more than to know a scale, to know a page or whatever. So, but I had to know, I had to study the this part as well. So, arpeggios, scale theory. So I began to study by myself, and then I had some classes, a few classes with a friend. His name is Renato Vasconcelos. He's a piano player from Brazil, from Brasilia, and we had some classes with him, and it was really fun because I remember recording the classes with Mauricio, and so we kind of study what Mauricio was thinking and translating into, to music, to a theory music. Oh, so here he's thinking about this scale. He's thinking about this arpeggio. He's thinking about this. So it was like it was really interesting. I had like this, let's say, uh, the intuitive side and the most math, let's say, side. So I for 1 year, I had these two professors. This was my teachers for life. I mean, 1 year studying with Mauricio and studying with this guy, which was studying like theory, harmony, arrangements, improvising, and all of that. So I was like 18 at 18, 19, something like that. And yeah, so I began to be really close to Mauricio, and we kind of Mauricio. Everybody should know this. Mauricio is 91 years old, and he's still playing. He's still composing. He's really healthy. He's been really creative. Uh, it's really special to live this such a special person. And
Wow.
so we began to be kind of family, Mike. Like, yeah, I can really consider Mauricio like a second father for me. We're really close. We speak out almost every day about life, about things, and I mean, it's really, we're really family. So I came back, and then, well, at the age of 22, I think, I recorded my first album. It calls Diz que fui por aí. And so at this album, I said, Mauricio, please, do you want to record something? Yes, of course. So it was really special because, you know, at in the classes, I will. He loved to teach me. He's like such a uh, creative. How do I say this? Counterpoints, no counterpoints. like doing
Counterpoint, yes,
counterpoints,
yes.
like doing second voices, and like thinking about harmony melodically. So and then Mauricio said, "Do that." So I played some melody, and I played in Mauricio. It was like a piano player played. It was so beautiful the way he thinks about harmony. It's he's really it's everything there. Uh, so we were playing, and then we recorded at this first album a song like this, just two harmonicas playing together, and he's doing like the background, and I was like soloing, and it was really cool to do this, to register in my first album. And uh and then I gave like 20 CDs at that time to Mauricio. Said, man, please take that, give to anyone you wanna give. He said, okay, I'm gonna give to some people. And uh and then he sent to by post, no, by postcards, no,
Yes, yeah,
and
regular mail, yeah. Snail
regular
mail.
mail.
They call it snail mail.
Postman,
Yeah.
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 So he sent to a few people, and I said, oh, okay, thanks, Mauricio, for doing that. And he was like really proud of his student, and like, oh, listen to this. So, and then once I came to his house, and then he said, Gabriel, I sent to a guy, and he really loved your CD. He really loved it. I said, really? Thanks, Mauricio. Oh, cool. I'm gonna call this guy here. I said, okay. I mean, it was like, okay. He didn't say who was it, and then, and then, hello, Toots. I said,
No,
man,
no.
it was such a gift for life. It's so beautiful what he did. I mean, he gave. I said, Mauricio, please speak with him. I said, man, I cannot speak. I was nervous, like Toots Thielemans, man. I can. I was like,
You didn't expect that one,
I didn't
right? You
expect it,
didn't see that one coming. No, no.
man. I was like, okay, so let's. Hey, Toots, how you doing? And he was, as you know, man. He was such a nice guy,
Yeah.
such a beautiful human being, and he was really kind with me, and really heard the CD because he was commenting all the songs, this first song beautiful. Oh, so you play this, I remember this song from he was like, he really listened to the CD. So I said, man, he really did listen. So I said, yeah, man. And he said to me, please, Gabriel, everything that you record, please send it to me, please send it directly to me. I said, well, man, I'm gonna do this, but it's for sure. And um, well, and then he said, please, and send it to and take my telephone number with Mauricio. Call me whenever you want to call me. I was like, wow, man, such an open guy. I mean, and I said, okay, I will do this for sure. I remember like, and when you come to Europe, he said, when you come to Europe, please come over here and let's take a coffee or something. I said, oh, okay, cool. So I remember recording my second album like 2005, I think. So I sent to him again. And then he said, man, he said, oh, beautiful. And then same thing. We spoke. He commented the whole album. I said, man, I don't believe it. He really listened to everything, and he was really commenting, and kind of also kind of being a teacher, give him some
Oh, yes,
advices,
yes.
like, oh, this is cool, man, but this is bad. It should be maybe a little slower, and think about this long notes. Think about this. He was like giving me some tips. So beautiful. Such a nice guy. And I was like, as a man, please send it, tell me whatever you want to tell me, please. I'm gonna be very honored. And then finally, I went to play. I don't remember where, in Europe, someplace. I remember that I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in Europe. I should know Toots personally. And then I said, man, can I come over? And he said, yeah. So I went to La Hulpe, no, La Hulpe,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
La
Close to
Hulpe,
Brussels. Yeah, yeah,
incredible, where he
yeah.
lived. So I went to his place and finally met him personally, and it was so nice. It was like Mauricio's story because we stayed like, and I remember Huguette saying, "Man, come over, but please come over for half an hour or something like that." I said, "Okay." And then same thing happened. I stayed like 10 hours. He didn't even let me go. We played a lot, and he was like showing me things, and man, it was so special. It was so beautiful too. So wow, it was really amazing.
Uh, there are so many things you're telling about Toots which I recognize. Like, I remember we used to go on the road, and then the
Mhm.
manager Dirk, who
Uh-huh.
unfortunately also passed away. He
Uh-huh.
brought like he had like still like a portable CD player, and like a whole bunch of CDs, like sometimes 20, 30 CDs of people
Wow.
sending Toots music, and he would listen to all the
Wow.
CDs, every song, and he commented, said, I like this one. Tell him or her what I don't like about it, but it was very honest. But he listened to everything in detail. He also once called me and
Wow.
said, "Yeah, Mike, I heard about a young, actually Brazilian singer who still lives here, actually, Lilian Vieira, and I heard she had like, yeah, she has like a nice band." So I called Lilian and said, "Send me your album." She did, and I brought it, and he listened. Yeah, he took everything so seriously. So thank you for listening. If you enjoy my podcast, then please subscribe, leave a rating, and a review. Please visit my website, mikedelferro.com, where you also will find links to my other podcast, Self Management for Musicians. You will also find links to my music and my socials. And of course, please share this podcast with anyone interested. Nothing beats the word of mouth. Thank you.
It was really beautiful, and then then from there we began to map personally, and every time I think I was with him like several times, when I was like nearby in Holland or maybe, and I was like, oh, let's go to, I want to go to Belgium to meet him a little. So Toots was like this. I mean, so special. And then everything I recorded, I sent it to him. And then it was like he was like 92 or I think 92, and I went there to his place once more, and with this time I went with Alex Rossi from harmonica, Brazilian harmonica player that lives also in Amsterdam, yeah. And then I said, man, let's go there to visit Toots. Let's go. And then I really saw like he was fine, but I saw like he was like going to maybe to the end. I mean, he was like not so like like with a lot of energy. He was like sitting in differently from the other times. And then I came out of from his house, and then I said to Alex, man, we have to make a tribute to Toots, to pay a tribute to Toots, to record an album, and give this to him. I mean, he has to know. He knows already, of course, but he has to know more that he's our pope, our master, our uh, eternal inspiration for every harmonica player in the world. So and I was like, I wanna do this. So and then I spoke to Alex, and let's do this, man. So let's do this together, and let's do it. So how can should we do this? And then I said, well, let's think about some. I was like thinking about like with the producer, let's say with the producer mind. I said, okay, so let's do one thing. So we invite some people, some of the harmonica players that he likes. I know the ones that he really likes uh, from all over the world. We we record or two songs or some of his compositions, but he didn't compose a lot of songs, so some of his compositions, or we compose a song for him to dedicate it to him, or we take like pieces standards that was famous for Toots performance. This was like the idea of the one of these things had to happen to have the connection with him. So and of course, and Bluesette nobody records or everybody records together. It was like it's not gonna be fair if somebody records bluesette. As a producer, I had to take this decision, So the harmonica players, oh, let me record bluesette. Man, no, you cannot record bluesette, or everybody record bluesette or nobody records. I mean, it's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be fair. So, and he said, oh, and everybody agree. Okay, so I invited the great harmonica players, as such as Grégoire Marais, Antonio Serrano, uh, Olivier Kerrouillot, Franco Luciani. Who else? Yeah, myself, and Alex also. So it was and everybody recorded 2 songs. It was really cool, and was really special at the end because we were sending talking about this to a few people, and then finally uh, we mixed we mixed this album with a very famous sound engineer. I'm forgetting his name now, man. He's a really really famous guy. He recorded Michael Jackson and everybody. Shit, man, I forgot his name now. But well, at the end, Alex has had his connection, and so let's mix with this guy. I said mix and master with him, and let's go. And then this guy said, "Man, this album is amazing. So I want to send this to Quincy Jones." I remember, and
Wow.
I said, "Oh, wow, man, please do it." And I asked the guy, said, "Please, so if you want to send to Quincy, because Quincy and Toots were friends, everybody knew this. If you want to send this to Quincy, please tell him to write something about it. It's about Toots, about the album, whatever he feels like." So I said, "Okay," and then he sent it. Quincy loved the album and wrote about it, and it was beautiful. And also I said I want to also invite another guy to write about Toots, which is a friend of also a friend of mine, and we'd had this great connection. Was big friends of Toots as well. It was Ivan Lins. So we had these 2 names. I asked Ivan, can you write a little about Toots, you know and yeah, so we had this in the back cover of the album. It was Quincy Jones and Ivan Lins writing about it, and the album called "We Do It Out of Love." uh, Based on that song, I do it out of love. So we
The Paul
we made it.
Simon song. Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
Simon that he recorded. So
Yeah.
we do it out of love. So yeah, man, I was really happy with this because when the album was ready, I pressed pressed the CDs and everything, and I came to Toots. This was like I think it was April, May. No, it was May because he was 94 already. So his birthday it's April, right? End of
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 29.
29 of April. That's it.
Yeah.
And then it was like beginning of May. He was just like 94, just made 94 years old. And I said, and I gave it the CD, man, Toots. Myself and Alex produced this album, and we want to give this to you. So I hope you like it. And then we sat together, and he listened to the whole album. He was really touched that day. He cried a little. It was really
Wow.
really a beautiful moment. And then I said, man, this is the way we're thankful, we're grateful to you forever. And then he was, I'm really happy, man, that he was like, thanks for doing this. It's really special for me. He was really grateful. And then we left, and I looked to Alex. I said, man, I think maybe he's going. And there was May, and he passed away in August. So yeah, May, June, 3 months after that. So,
Yeah.
but I was really happy that paying tribute, Mike. I don't know if you agree about this. Paying tribute is always really special, but paying a tribute when the guy is alive, man, it's so nice. I mean, it's even better because he saw live, how he was loved from everyone. I mean, he knew this already, but he was kind of, not playing and was like retiring, and it was really special to do this, and it was really special to have his confidence of receiving this. So this was really beautiful story. I mean, I never forgot his expression. I even have an album. There was one song on YouTube I played. I'm playing Carinhoso, this very famous Brazilian song.
Yeah.
I'm playing this to him at this day. So if people want to search for this, it's Carinhoso, myself, and playing for Toots. It was really fun. He was like happy, laughing, and it was a really special day, man. I never forget this day. It was really
And
really
and
special.
this album, is it on the digital platforms as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So
It
I'll put it
calls
in the show notes. Yeah.
yeah, it calls We Do It Out of Love.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in the platforms. Yeah, it was released. I think also with has some vinyls. I think there are some vinyls to sell in Amsterdam. If I'm not wrong, Alex I think has this some CDs as well. If people likes it, it's really beautiful tribute. It's really touch it. And in this tribute, I wrote a song. I think we played this together. Samba for Toots.
Yeah.
So I wrote
Yeah.
for this album. I wrote for this album. I said, man, I want to compose a song for Toots. I want to dedicate something to him because he had this great connection with Brazilian music. So from long time, from always. I mean, he really had a Brazilian feeling from long time. So
Yeah, he recorded two amazing albums, the Brazil Project, and everybody is there.
wow, man,
Ivan, Alice, Milton, you name it.
this
They're
this
legendary
album,
albums.
the Brazil project, it was really the album that changed my life. This one, the two, but the first one, it was really an album that really changed my life. I really learned like everything Toots was doing. I was trying to learn from this album. It was really big. Wow, man, he was playing like wow, like God, and and from this, and there is one interesting thing. So because I was listening a lot to Toots, listening a lot to Mauricio and Horn, and then I was like, you know, taking these two masters and getting everything I could get from them, and then after this, I said, man, to myself, I said, man, I'm kind of being like too much Toots or too much Mauricio. So I have to find my own identity, And it was really interesting, Mike, because I really forbid myself to listen to harmonica for 2 years. I was with during 2 years I did not listen to any harmonica player. I said I don't want to listen to harmonica. I had to get all the instruments. So I was learning things from Chet Baker, from Coltrane, from pianists, from guitarists, from breath instruments. So I was listening to different stuff. And during these 2 years, I really I really developed. um I think I really developed my begun to develop, of course, my own personality. I really begun to play my way. Like, okay, this is me. This is not. I'm not like imitating Toots or Mauricio. I'm playing my things, my stuff. And also, of course, listening to this guy, but trying to find my own things. And during this time, I was also studying choro. So chorinho in Brazil, it's a very special musical school because it's really hard to play chorinho. So the melodies are really complicated, three
Yeah.
parts and long parts, and so I really developed my technique during this time. I was studying choros, playing difficult stuffs, and it was really 2 years really special, I mean, to develop my own things, So I think after that, I began to record my things again, and I said, man, okay, so now I I don't look like them. I'm finding my personality. So
You sound like
oh,
Gabriel.
yeah, yeah, it was, and then on the end, it was really better. I mean, it was really special because I was really being requested more, being playing more because I think I said, man, I have to something to show now, record albums and stuff. So at this moment, I just recorded my 15th albums. That it 15th
Wow,
album, yeah.
15 already. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 albums, man, and more. I was counting the other day. I was more than 500 recordings around, with this, several names, and so yeah, man. I can tell a little, a, s- a little story about harmonica, and this is like a when I found this and this is interesting to say as well because after that I said, man, I want to do the same thing as grateful, to be grateful. I had to do this like a need, I want to do the same thing to Mauricio. I want to produce an album, invite some harmonica players, and take, and giving to Mauricio and paying tribute to Mauricio. So it was really cool, man, because during this time I began to search more, harmonica players in Brazil. I knew almost everybody, but I was looking for in Brazil, man. It's so interesting. It's a lot of great harmonica players, playing very nice. I'm really happy because I feel also, responsible for this. I mean, to bring a like a, let's say, a Brazilian language, in the instrument, and that, kind of open doors to, to the new generation.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of younger people playing very very nice, and with this almost with this, let's say, this Brazilian language of expressing, so kind of a different school, not Toots school, not Mauricio school, uh, not, I mean, a mix, which is it's recorded all over. So I found like 28 harmonica players, 28, man. So and this album also invite my friend, of course, Pablo Fagundes. We
Yeah.
produced that together.
Yeah.
I said, Pablo, help me out with this. Let's produce this album. I said, man, great idea. It calls Viva Mauricio, the album. It's a two, how do I say, double album, no?
Like a
Like
double. Yeah. Yeah.
double,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, it's
Double
two, like two,
CD. Yeah.
because it was like 28, man, 28 harmonica players. And I said, man, it's a lot of great harmonica players. So no, this one, we have to invite him out. This one also. So when we saw, like, man, it's almost 30 harmonica players. It's gonna be fixed in an album. So it was really special. And also this, the ideas of this album, the production was a little different because Mauricio, besides being a great harmonica player, he's an amazing composer. He has like 500 songs, more than this, and really famous songs in the instrumental scene as well. So we recorded this his songs in this album, Mauricio songs, and with different approaches, and it was really cool, man, to have this. I mean, really really special. And also Mauricio gave to Mauricio, and he was really happy, and it was really nice to pay this tribute to my two great masters. And I mean, it's
Wonderful.
beautiful.
What a wonderful
Yeah,
story, man. And yeah, yeah. In
yeah,
fact, you're mentioning Pablo Fagundes.
yeah.
Fagundes. I'm also. He's also one of the episodes in this podcast.
Great,
So
man.
I.
He's great. He's a great harmonica player, man. We begun to we began playing together. We began the blues harp together. We played a lot together, and it was really fun to. Pablo is. We're both from Brasilia. We had like the same age, and we grew up together, man. And playing the harmonica, and we're really close friends. And he's really special. Also, I really like his playing. So yeah,
And when did you move to Rio?
I moved to Rio, man, 20 years ago, so 2002, 2003, 21 years ago, man, a long time ago also. So I was like, at that moment, like I had to be either in Rio or São Paulo to, to be more known, to know people, to get in contact with people. And so, yeah, so the city, hugged me for a while. So it was cool to be, I feel kind of carioca now.
Yeah. Carioca is someone from Rio for the
Yeah,
listener who's not too well
yeah,
informed about Brazilian culture. Yeah,
yeah,
actually, I was a lot of musicians. There's always this well, not a discussion, but I hear like different opinions. Like if you're Brazilian musicians and you kind of want to make it, so to speak, you either have to go to Rio or to Sao Paulo. And people say, yeah, the music scene in Rio is getting worse and all of that. What do you
yeah.
think about this?
Yeah, man. I think São Paulo is. I work a lot in São Paulo, man. I think maybe 60% of my things are in São Paulo, and unfortunately, this is true. I mean, it's not many places to play in Rio, but I'm optimistic. I mean, I think it's getting better. I think it's getting better. It's a lot of great musicians here, and people wanted to play, and it's such a touristic city. So, I mean, it's a little stupid not to have places to music. So everybody comes to Rio, want to listen to Brazilian music, and we want to play. Why doesn't that happen? So
Yeah.
I think things are getting a little better, but of course, São Paulo, it's things are much better. I mean, the musical scene, the payments, the professionalism. It's São Paulo. It's a little, it's ahead for sure.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, from my perspective, if you compare Sao Paulo and Rio in terms of city atmosphere, it's two worlds apart, right?
2 words apart, man. I love Rio, man. I love
Yeah,
to live here.
yeah. Let's face it.
Yeah, yeah, I love Rio. It's such a beautiful city, man. It's such a nice, special place. I mean, we're really privileged to live here. It's a big city. It's really unique. It's a big city with the beautiful nature in the middle of the city.
Yeah,
So it's really different from every place I've been so far around the world. It's
yeah, and
special.
it also blows my mind. I mean, the samba scene there. I mean, maybe for let's say
Wow.
Brazilian music and jazz, there are not too many opportunities to play us in Sao Paulo, but the samba world, like every day you can
Hmm.
go like to a place
Perfect,
where
man. Perfect.
and what is the place there? The samba that sorry
Do
for my
trabalhador,
Portuguese.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tijuca,
well,
yeah.
yeah.
The,
And you go there on a Monday evening, and there are 1,500 people there. 1,500 people on a Monday, and it starts at 6. And I mean, that's an
yeah,
amazing
man,
culture.
it's amazing. No, I mean, talking about samba, man, Rio's the place. I mean, the people from Rio playing samba, they're the best. I mean, I learned a lot from this. It's the best. Let's say musical happening in Rio is the samba thing. I mean, it's like it's like natural. People born in Rio began to play percussion and feel the samba. So it's really natural to play. You see like the percussionists especially. I mean, wow, man, so many amazing percussionists. It's different. The samba here is different. From me, is the best.
You also play the MIDI harmonica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really interesting. Some crazy guys in Sweden, I think, made it, and yeah, and then I was like, man, I was searching, Mike's for new sounds, new things. I also like to use the whammy stuff and the pedals sometimes. And the MIDI is really interesting. I mean, it's like a chromatic harmonica, regular one, but it has a different touch. A different. Let's how do I say this? Sensitive. It's different. I mean, you blow just a little and then wow, and then sometimes it's different. It's a different way to play. Sometimes you have to think a little ahead, because it has a little delay. So you have to think a little, thinking a little ahead of the time. So
Like latency.
and it's yeah, latency. Yeah, I'm working on this. I think they're getting better. I bought the first version, so maybe the last it's better. I was like, at the moment was like, man, it's hard to play because it's, but I found a way. I mean, to I have to think a little ahead things, and not to be so, you know. But it's interesting. I mean, it's a new world, man. It's new colors, and it's really interesting. I like the conservative harmonica people like, I don't like this, so I like it, man. I like it, to have uh, different colors always. I mean, in the concert, I like to play one, two songs with this, one, two songs with the bass harmonica. I also play the bass harmonica. So it's different colors. Yeah, it's different colors. It's nice to have it.
Yeah, it's actually a great invention. I mean, that you can hook up all
Yeah.
these soundtrack plugins and experiment with that. I mean, it opens a whole new world. Usually when I interview people, I kind of have to guide the conversation because, but in your case, man, I was hardly talking, but this great
I
talk
spoke a
kind of,
lot,
yeah.
man.
No, no. I mean, it's like great music. The music just comes out, just the music plays itself, and in this talk, you really, all the questions I wanted to ask you actually put it together in one beautiful long story, and I want to thank you for this. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy my podcast, then please subscribe, leave a rating and a review. Please visit my website, mikedelferro.com, where you also will find links to my other podcast, Self-Management for Musicians. You will also find links to my music and my socials. And of course, please share this podcast with anyone interested. Nothing beats the word of mouth. Thank you.